Hello everyone. It's an honor to have this opportunity to present the Korea's e-government standard framework to such a distinguished audience. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Chris Yoon from eGovFrame Center. I'm the principal software engineer and also in charge of sharing Korea's e-government standard framework with the foreign countries that are interested in it. It'll take about 30 minutes to cover eGovFrame. There will be 4 parts to my presentation this time. In the first part, I will give you a quick overview of software framework and background of eGovFrame. In the second part, I will introduce you to eGovFrame. In the third part, I will explain the details of eGovFrame. Lastly, I will end with a global partnership. Before I move on, let me talk about MOIS and NIA. The MOIS, which stands for Ministry of Interior and Safety, is a government bureau that connects central and provincial governments to consolidate state affairs and lead government innovation. It also protects the people from all kinds of disasters and takes the lead in making the whole country live well together. As for the key role of the ministry are coordinating policies to promote efficient digital and mobile government, promoting international cooperation in e-government, and promoting efficient operation of information resources through e-government. The MOIS has been enhancing e-government service quality and IT investment efficiency through the e-government standard framework, which is called eGovFrame since 2008. NIA stands for the National Information Society Agency. It's a statutory agency founded by Article 10 of a Framework Act on Informatization Promotion. As you can see, the key role of NIA is providing expertise in developing and implementing the National Framework Plan on Informatization Promotion. As for the role of eGovFrame Center, I will explain it later on. Around the world, digital technologies are changing the way we live and work in ways we could not predict just a generation ago. The Korean government has been strengthening e-government service and bridging the digital divide over the years in order to make people happy in terms of technological aspects. According to the 2018 survey results on the use of e-government services released by the Ministry of Interior and Safety, 9 out of 10 Koreans used e-government service, and 97.2% of the users were satisfied with the services. It's very high, isn't it? The 3 major indicators of e-government service use, recognition, utilization, and satisfaction, have all increased for 7 consecutive years since 2012. There are many factors that helped us achieve this good result, but I would like to emphasize on one of the most important factors, which is the software framework underlying the information systems for Korean e-government. Let's now take a look at what software framework is. In 1988, Johnson and Foote defined it as a framework that is reusable, semi-complete application that can be specialized to produce custom applications. Let me take an example of building a house. Is it possible to build your house without a house frame? Yeah, it could be possible, but it would take longer than usual. The shape will not be as we desire. The wall thickness may vary, right? If you build a house with a frame, you can build everything else easily around the frame, which means you are doing the work inside the frame. In the same way, whenever you write some code in a framework, you have a specific skeleton pre-established. So this is actually the software framework. software framework gives you the basic structure around which you can add your code to have a greater functionalities of your system. In other words, using software framework, it gives you an improvement in productivity and an enhancement in quality. So I can tell you that software framework is crucial to e-government services. According to the case study analysis of eGovFrame, the development productivity increased by more than 30% when using eGovFrame. On the left side, it shows service without software framework. On the right side, it shows service with framework. Let me briefly summarize the advantages of using software framework as follows. First, productivity. It provides built-in functionalities, so it reduces the overall development effort and time. If you decide to write everything from scratch, it will take longer for a new team member to understand your custom code in detail. In a nutshell, using the framework simplifies and speeds up the development process significantly. Secondly, it increases component reusability. Thirdly, it increases interoperability by using standard interface and brings low maintenance. Lastly, quality. It allows the applications to be implemented in a standard structure, so framework can help establish better programming practices and appropriate use of design patterns. Suppose we have the following websites. Each website has its own set of businesses, and all you have to do is focus on your business. On the base environment provided by a software framework, common modules are reused, and only the unique functions of each services are developed by themselves to implement the system. The main reason why we should use software framework is that it helps you to focus on your business logic. Then, are all software frameworks good? Let's take a look at the reality of Korea before applying eGovFrame. From now on, let's take a look at the situation in South Korea in terms of software industry. As I said earlier, according to the survey in 2018, out of 10 Koreans used e-government services, and 97% of the users were satisfied with the services. However, it was not until the eGovFrame was born. Since eGovFrame was released in 2009, it wasn't until at least 10 years ago. Before 2009, there were many problems in the existing e-government services in Korea. The e-government of Korea built its own public information system for each ministry. Let me take an example. As you can see, on the left side here, a National Tax Service uses its own software framework. Next to it, Public Procurement Service was using its own software framework. The last website was also using a different framework. Every website has a different framework. Also, many of the same or similar functions were developed in duplicate in each system. As a result, the development of redundant development investment has made it difficult to provide low-cost, high-quality services. Have you ever heard of Samsung SDS? Samsung had its own software framework called Systemia, which was based on POSIX language. Then it evolved into AnyFrame based on Java language though. Once a giant company like Samsung won the contract, only that company was able to maintain and upgrade the applications. It is very unfair and competitive environment to small, medium-sized enterprises. Even if another company won the contract, they had no choice but to redevelop the system from scratch because it was hard to understand the codes upon different frameworks. It caused redundant development due to framework differences. This is why eGovFrame, Korean e-government standard framework, was created. So, In order to overcome these problems and issues, the Korean government enacted and recognized laws, systems, and related regulations to encourage each government institution to establish an efficient information system. And also, through communication between the private sectors and academic community, we have reached a consensus. Let's now move on to an overview of eGovFrame. Let me introduce to eGovFrame. After a lot of effort, at last, eGovernment standard framework, eGovFrame was created. The eGovFrame is open source framework that does not depend on a specific company. It's like a steel structure in a building, and common components like windows, doors, lights, and doorknobs. It allows you to build high-quality e-government services at low cost. It provides predefined core functions written in Java platform. So you can put the common components into your system and then add your code to make a greater functionality upon them. It makes you to focus on your own business logic. We have identified 5 core challenges to prevent duplicate investment and provide low-cost, high-quality services. The 5 key challenges are to reuse common functionality, improve interoperability, reflect current ICT trend, eliminate specific company dependencies, and increase small, medium-sized competitiveness. To achieve these objectives, we have come up with solutions through standardization, openness, and promoting within the community. In the past, the system had to be developed from scratch, including login, authentication, database, connection, and transaction, and so on. But now, unlike the complicated procedure of traditional development method, eGovFrame can provide common modules, reusable components, such as login, authentication, and various utilities. The framework also provides support for database connectivity, transaction, and log processing. eGovFrame helps you to focus on your business logic to increase the productivity and quality, and to reduce costs by reducing schedules. Before standardization of eGovFrame, the budget was increased due to the redundancy of similar functions, such as login, bulletin boards. There was a lack of business opportunities for small and medium-sized companies because of business dependency in subsequent projects of giant companies. On the other hand, through standardization of eGovFrame and the reuse of common components, it has maximized the efficiencies of budget reduction and increased opportunities for small and medium-sized companies. In the early stages of eGovFrame, there were many concerns about whether eGovFrame would work. Is it going to work well? Is it possible to have continuous and stable technical support? Is it going to be safe? Some developers were also concerned about rejecting the newly developed tools. So, the Korean government has introduced the concept of open innovation as a strategy for building a successful eGovFrame. We went through the following 4 steps to achieve our goals. We verified and selected open sources as the first step, and then reflected on the opinions of relevant parties as a second step. The third step is open output. All source codes and intellectual property rights are released to the public free of charge. The fourth step is open ecosystem. We established the eGovFrame Center for the voluntary use and diffusion of eGovFrame and technical support. Let me explain about the concept of open innovation. The term open innovation is a business concept or paradigm developed by Henry Chesbrough. The basic idea is the companies cannot afford to rely entirely on their own ideas. Instead, the companies should use external ideas as well as internal ideas in order to go beyond their capabilities and resources. External sources of innovation could be customers, rival companies, and academic institutions. From now on, I'll explain it one by one, starting with open sourcing. The first step is open sourcing. 11 large and medium-sized enterprises participate and share their knowledge to develop eGovFrame. We have defined basic functions and structures. It has gone through the process of defining an open source selection policy. We assessed 175 candidate open sources and carried out the logical and physical test. Finally, 48 open sources have been selected as the major open sources. The second step is open process. Opinions from 500 people were collected through 70 sessions of industry. A wide range of opinions and various issues were taken into account. The third step is the open output. All of the source codes, including outputs, are provided free of charge. You can download all of the source codes at the portal site. Roughly 10,000 developers have been trained so far. More than 800 projects have adopted eGovFrame. Approximately 800,000 downloads have been recorded as of last month. For these reasons, we received awards in 3 categories of the Future Awards in 2010 and 1 CMMI certificate. The first step is open ecosystem. We have formed the open community in which large and small enterprises participate. The main purpose of open community is to encourage the developers to increase the use of eGovFrame. And eGovFrame Center has been established in 4th of November 2010. It provides consulting and training and compatibility verification and conducts major upgrades, R&D improvement, and technical support. Let me give you the details of eGovFrame. eGovFrame consists of 4 environments. Runtime environment is a foundation of software applications, and it provides the basic function required to run the applications. Development environment is a collection of development tools, and it is composed of 4 service tool sets. Operation environment helps you to monitor the system state based on the information collected by agent programs. Management environment provides systematic, efficient management of improving eGovFrame, and version upgrades and service request processes. As I said earlier, these 48 verified open sources, including Spring Framework, have been applied to eGovFrame. Here, the highlighted ones are representative of open sources. 251 common components provide common functions that are reusable. I would say these common components are like sample codes so that you can reuse and modify them. As you can see, there have been a lot of changes in eGovFrame during the past years. eGovFrame version 1 was released in June 2009. It contained 219 common components via ISP. There were 5 steps of development period until version 2.5 was released in December 2012. A new version has been released at the beginning of each year. The last version, the latest version released in March this year is 3.9. In line with the increased use of mobile phones and the demand for mobile development environments, mobile upgrades versions were released in 2013. eGovFrame version 3.9 includes the latest version of Apache Cordova, which makes it easy to develop mobile hybrid application. The first achievement of the eGovFrame is to increase the efficiency of public service development. eGovFrame is used to develop the major public services of Korean government to improve the quality of the system in various fields, such as tax, finance, automobile, health, administration, and so on. eGovFrame is widely used as a national software framework in Korea. eGovFrame is not limited to specific domain, but has been applied to a variety of domains like food, health, education, and so on. As for this year, eGovFrame application rate has hit 62%. More than 800 projects have been officially checked for application. Around 3,728 projects in total have adopted eGovFrame so far. It is based on Korean online e-procurement service. Lastly, let me talk about the global achievement. The second outcome of eGovFrame is global propagation. eGovFrame has been applied to 33 projects in 17 countries, starting with Vietnam and Mexico. The NIA has been signing MOU with Vietnam, Mexico, Uyghur, Nigeria, Uzbekistan, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and Sudan, respectively, since 2012. The MOIS and NIA signed the MOU with Da Nang City in Vietnam in 2012. As a result, for the request of the Da Nang City, there was a 4-day education session for the Vietnam software developers. African Development Bank Group has a plan for eGov Basics Implementation Program, eBIP, with NIA. eBIP projects are being processed and funded by AFDB. AFDB's mission is to allocate resources for investment and provide policy advice and technical assistance to support development efforts. Mexico is one of the most active customers. The NIA signed the MOU with Sinvestav in Mexico. We have been supporting the project in Mexico through online since MOU was signed in 2013. They applied eGovFrame to Mexican Ministry of Health as well as Puebla City. They have established an online community for eGovFrame in 2014. Their role is very similar to ours. They still ask us the technical questions about eGovFrame's runtime environment. I would like to finish by summarizing how much differences have been so far. We were able to save cost and time. We were able to reduce redundant development. We succeeded in creating a fair competition environment for small and medium-sized businesses. We succeeded in ensuring a convenient maintenance environment through modularization. Thank you for listening. This is the end of my presentation this time. Thank you for listening. I hope this presentation would be helpful for you to be familiar with eGovFrame and have an inspiration for adoption of eGovFrame in your country and in your organization in the near future. Thank you all for taking your time to listen to my presentation today. Thank you.